Veteran and a fellow Texas citizen of mine, Ryan Nichols. He claims he has exonerating evidence that shows government operatives were pushing violence on January 6, 2021. Nichols has been detained since January 18th on numerous charges. First, what is he charged with, and do the charges merit a year's detention?
Thanks for having me on, Chris. I really appreciate it, and thank you for your continuing coverage regarding this important issue. Ryan Nichols has no doubt been overcharged in his case. He's been charged with violent assault, possession of a dangerous instrument or deadly weapon, violent entry. He's overcharged. The vast majority of these January 6ers have been overcharged in this case. Does the punishment fit the crime? That is a great question. In order for anybody accused of a crime to be punished, they need to have their day in court. Ryan Nichols has not had his day in court yet. Despite this reality, he's been held in solitary confinement for upwards of a year. January 18th will be a year for him. It is unconstitutional, illegal, and it's wrong. With regard to the theories about agents at the Capitol, this is something that we have been investigating for several months. We do have a good faith basis to believe that there were provocateurs on the ground. Who they belong to is a question that is still very much up in the air. But when you see a specific level of coordination between these people and then uniformed personnel at the Capitol's West Terrace and at the Capitol's Eastern Terrace, then you have to start asking yourself questions. Who do these people belong to?
Understood. Now, you also filed another lawsuit against the D.C. police on behalf of your client, Victoria White. You claim Victoria was pushed by a crowd into a tunnel which was packed with officers in riot gear. You say she was beaten as she was trying to stop people from entering the Capitol. What's her status?
No doubt about it. Her status is right now she's a criminal defendant as well. Despite the fact that she is on video 2 times trying to stop people from breaking out a window on the Capitol's Western Terrace, she has been charged. She was nonviolent and tried to thwart violence. At some point, she was pushed into the entrance, to the tunnel entrance that leads toward the Western Terrace into the crypt area, and she had no idea where she was. She thought it went up to another level of the Capitol. She wanted to go up there and protest because she didn't like what was happening at the window, and nothing could have prepared her for what was about to happen next. Shortly after being pushed into that tunnel, she was targeted by the officer with a white shirt. He's the highest-ranking officer in that area. He grabs her, and he absolutely pulverizes her. He hits her 35 times with a metal collapsible baton, punches her 5 times in the face, and he is joined in by other officers who pull her hair, who kick her, who mace her, and one officer in particular hits her independently another 12 times in the face with his baton. It is egregious. It is unconstitutional, it is illegal, it is wrong, and that's why we are going to sue them. We are suing them.
In your legal opinion, when you see BLM and Antifa looters, arsonists, those who have committed vicious assaults, having their charges dropped or being let out on little or no bail, but folks who were just caught trespassing in the Capitol have been indefinitely detained, is the U.S. government equally applying the law as is called for in the Constitution, in your view?
Absolutely, positively not. You have one side who belongs to the left. They have license to go out into the streets to suppress political demonstrations of people from the right, to burn, to loot, to commit crimes, all in the name of social justice. But one time, there were 50 Stop the Steal protests over 2020. Stop the Steal had 50 protests. They were all peaceful. The protest at the Ellipse was peaceful. That protest that was supposed to happen at the Capitol was hijacked. We have lots of questions as to why that happened. But those people did not show up there to commit violence. There's no indication, no prior history. There's no nexus connecting them to any prior violence. Did violence happen that day?
Understood.
Sure. Are they being unfairly treated? 100%.
Joseph McBride, counselor, we appreciate your time here on the Chris Salcedo Show. When we come back, Texas Congressman Pat Fallon, he stood opposed and defended the House chamber 1 year ago today. They'll hear his reflections on January 6th, 1 year later.